Every gilded cage is built with walls of comfort. The only question is what you're paying for them.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into a massive, tangled web of theories, all about the hidden forces that some believe are secretly shaping our world. We're going to take a journey together, starting at the surface and going all the way down into the deepest, most mind-bending questions about reality itself. So, this single idea right here, it really sets the stage for everything. It frames our whole journey today as a trip down a giant iceberg of theories. We're starting with politics and money, but we're ending up somewhere metaphysical. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so at the very top of the iceberg, right at the surface, we find the theories about actual physical power structures in the world. You know, the groups and systems that are supposedly operating just behind the curtain, pulling all the strings. And according to the source material, this first layer of control is a whole network of powerful families and secret societies. Let's be honest, it's kind of the usual suspects, right? You've got names like the Rothschilds, the Freemasons, the Council on Foreign Relations. They pop up over and over again as the key players in some grand plan. So, what's their main tool? Well, a crucial instrument for all this control is said to be the financial system. The theories point right at privately owned central banks, like the Federal Reserve. The argument is that these banks weren't created for the public good, but for private profit, essentially creating money from thin air to get entire nations into debt. Now this is where it gets really interesting. This quote from Myron Fagan basically lays out the core strategy: conflict. The theory goes that creating opposing sides, left versus right, this ism versus that ism, it's all on purpose. It's a way to divide humanity, to keep us fighting each other, so we never look up and see who's really holding the puppet strings. But what if the control goes way deeper than just politics and money? Okay, let's go a little deeper down the iceberg and see how it all connects. Here, we're leaving the world of banking and government behind, and we're stepping into the realm of hidden spiritual knowledge. The idea here is that true power isn't just controlling money, it's about controlling wisdom. The sources we looked at point to this really specific period in the late 19th and early 20th centuries as a big turning point. This is when you had figures like Helena Blavatsky and groups like the Golden Dawn who started to organize and really popularize these ancient esoteric ideas, bringing all this hidden stuff into a more modern light. And at the very heart of so many of these traditions is this concept called Gnosis. Now, this is a really important distinction. Gnosis isn't about what you believe, it's about what you know through your own direct personal experience. It's a path of inner knowing, not blind faith. And that leads to this incredibly powerful idea that inside every single one of us, there's a little piece of the divine just sleeping. A divine spark. The whole goal of Gnosis, then, is to wake that spark up, to make you realize that ultimate power isn't something out there, it's something that's been inside you all along. This right here perfectly illustrates that recurring theme of hidden knowledge. According to writers like Albert Pike, who was a famous Freemason, there's always been two versions of the story. There's the public one, for the beginners, and then there's the secret one, the real truth. That's only for the inner circle. And that leads us down to the bottom of the iceberg, to the deepest question of all. So, in this final layer, we're at the very bottom. The theories down here stop asking who is in control, and they start asking, what even is this reality we're experiencing? This is where things get really, really strange. The sources start putting forward these really radical ideas that just challenge everything we assume about existence. They ask us to think about this. What if the limits we feel aren't political or economic? What if the prison is built right into the code of our reality? And I mean, look at these ideas. You have hollow earth theory, suggesting civilizations live inside our planet. The simulation hypothesis, that we're living in a computer program. The dead internet theory, which says most of the internet is just AI now. And even the ancient idea of Archons, these non-physical parasites that influence our thoughts. Every single one of them, in its own way, is saying that our reality is just not what it appears to be. And a concept that ties a lot of this together is the ancient Gnostic idea of the Demiurge. It suggests that our material world, it wasn't created by some perfect, all-knowing God, no. It was made by a lesser, flawed, maybe even malicious being. And for the Gnostics, this totally explained why the world is so full of suffering and delusion, and why it feels like a cage. And we're going to end on this final, staggering thought, because it really sums up where this journey takes you. The idea that the universe already ended a long time ago, and that everything we see, everything we feel, our entire reality is just an echo, a complex program running on the leftover energy at the very end of time. It just leaves you with one profound and pretty unsettling question, doesn't it? What is truly real?